All right, guys, welcome to the Unstoppable Family Hangout once again, the Freedom-Preneur Show. And I'm coming from live from Australia, and Brian is actually having technical difficulties, as you can see. And so I'm going to kick it off today and like have you guys just start. We're going to go through some great Instagram training today while Brian gets his things fixed. And I just want to give you guys an introduction to my world and how Instagram has changed my online business, my digital business online, and how it can potentially change your life too. So my name's Justin Holland, and I'm like a pawn. I've come from the Swan family. They've introduced me to the online world, and they've been traveling the world for I think about 10 years now. And I've been traveling the world for about the past 12 months now. So I've been invited today to kick off and show you guys a little bit into my world and show you how to leverage the power of Instagram to kind of give that extra cog to your business. You know, we have our Facebook, we have our all our different social media platforms, but something that's very underutilized is the platform called Instagram. You know, we have 500 million people opening up Instagram every single month. It's some crazy numbers here. So I wanted to get stuck into some real simple training that you guys can start leveraging today. I don't want you guys to wait around and think, I don't know what to do today. I want you guys to start using Instagram today if you haven't already. And if you have, I want to show you how you can, start boosting your numbers, your likes, your audience straight away. So I'm gonna kick straight into a few different points that I have. And I'm actually going to share my phone with you. I have my phone up here on the screen, where I can go through different applications, different engagement techniques, and different formulas that you can actually use today to start boosting that engagement every day on your Instagram. So I wanted to kick it off with the importance of back and forth engagement with your audience. Now, a lot of people will just go and post on Instagram and put their hashtags in there, and that's all they'll do. And they just will expect people to come to them. Yes, that's what Instagram is made for, but what we want to do is take that little step further, okay? So what happens is when you do a post, you are going to do a photo. That's what Instagram is. It's a photo-based sharing machine or a social media network. And when you do that post, you're going to have your very important title with it. I would never just do a post and just a hashtag. And I'm going to show you how to search for the right hashtags and how to kind of get down to a little number. So I'm going to share my phone with you straight away and just like show you guys a little bit more about that. So let me share my phone on this screen, and hopefully you guys can get real into this and enjoy what I have to show you. So I'm just going to share I can actually share my iPhone on my screen here. So let me just do that. Okay. All right, so um, I want to make sure you guys can like nothing's okay at the moment. So yes, Brian, I can see you now. So I think we're good to go. Let's share this. I'm going to share the computer so I can straight onto screen. Want to work for me, so that's great. So I'm just going to jump into Instagram here. All right, so just while I'm getting this ready, I just want to ask you about a bit of benefits of using different hashtags. Okay, so when you use a hashtag, so let's just say you're in the food area. Let's give that just one example, okay? And you're looking to build a foodie Instagram. So there's lots of foodies out there, and a lot of you guys like to build Instagram and then also attach different products to that. So you might be selling a cookbook or just an ebook about eating healthy or eating raw or organic and kind of thing. And what I do notice is that when people use hashtags, they will go for the hashtags that have millions of hashtags already, and there's an issue here. There's an issue here with people using hashtags that have that many followers. You think about when there's, say, 1 million followers on this hashtag, and I hope that you guys can hear me okay here. I'll let Brian tell me if it's okay. We're good to go. So what happens is you've got 1 million followers on one hashtag. That means people are using it a lot. And when you put a hashtag, it's just going to go down the live feed every single time someone else puts a hashtag at the top. So you want to dig real deep into your hashtags, and I really want to get my screen up here, but it's not quite working. I'm going to try again, because I really think this is going to play into your hands really well if I can get this up. So yeah, got it. All right, so time to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by this. Let's do this. You guys are going to love this. All right. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter like whether it's just going to be a personal Instagram, whether it's going to be a business Instagram. And now, can we make sure that this screen, Todd, is the one that's showing on the main screen? Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to. I'm using an application for those who want to actually share their screen with people on the computer. There's actually an app called Reflector 2, and I'm using that now. You can see here it's called Reflector. Just like it's a real great app. It's called Reflector 2. It's an amazing app that you guys can share your actual iPhone screen or your Android screen with your audience, with your friends, your family, your clients, whatever you want. I'm going to go straight into my app here, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by this. So when you're in here, you can say, the foodie example, and we're going to see it. It's just a bit laggy on here, but that's fine. So let me just let me organize that, and when it comes up, so yeah, we've got 179 million posts for the food hashtag. Now, what happens with this is that when you actually use this hashtag, is that it will just slide down the feed very, very quickly. As you guys know, when you're inside your Instagram feed, you will see what's at the top there, what's popular, how many people are liking it, and that kind of thing. And if you're just like a smallish kind of Instagram account and you want to use hashtag food, here, then let me just get rid of this. Okay. Let me just delete this so I'm not annoying anyone with my messages. All right, get out of that. Okay, here we are. We're back here, and we're in a food hashtag. So what I actually wanted you guys to do is, instead of using just a very popular hashtag like this, I'm just going to let it load so you guys can see. And we're going to come back here. It's not working at the moment. Let me just unscreen that and go straight back into it. Okay. It's very slow. Come on, please work. Alright, so I'm just going to keep talking about this. So I'm going to go through it while it starts loading better. So what happens is when you type in food, what I want you guys to do is scroll down. I want you to scroll down just like I'm doing right now, to give you guys an example of what I mean by make sure you narrow that audience much, much better. So when you go down, I'm going to look for hashtags much less following but more targeted to your audience. So let's say that you're trying to target raw organic foods. So instead of typing food, I'm going to type in raw food into my Instagram tags, and we're going to come up with different things like raw food or raw foods, raw food share, raw food diet, raw food chef. or raw food vegan maybe. And we're coming down here now. I'm going to try and share this again. So I'll take this off and then I'll share it. Mirroring off, mirroring on. Alright, so let's do this. Let's share it back. Make sure we are good to go. Alright, sweet. We are good. Alright, into here. So as you guys can see here, we have all these raw food posts. And now the people that you're targeting, the people that you want to look at your post are not necessarily people looking just at food. They're looking at something much deeper than this. So what's going to happen is you're going to go into something that you might be a raw food, you might be looking to target chefs, you might be looking to give them another book, or you might even be a vegan, a raw food vegan. So let's look at this raw food vegan. There's only 5,000 posts, but instead of that 170, yeah, that 76. I hope you guys hear me okay. So hopefully we are good. So I'm just going to go into something else now. So you've gone through different hashtags that you are going to make your own. You guys can take over hashtags very comfortably if you're consistent with your posting. What you can also do in here is take a bit of the leverage away from what the Instagram platform is, which is share a photo, put a hashtag, and leave it. I want you guys to, hustle mode that we talk about. And when you click on a photo here, you guys click the photo here, and when that you just free, that's fine. Back in, not a big deal. I'll just exit that again and come back in. So just give me a second there, it'll work fine. Okay, let me just jump in here and we are fine. So what happens is when you go into a photo like that, what's going to happen is, okay, now my internet's playing up on my phone, but that's okay. It'll come back in a second. Okay, perfect. Let's get back into this. So I want you guys to take a bit of initiative on yourself. And what's going to happen then is you're actually going to target people specifically, which is going to be great for your business. And all I want you to do is simply when you're on a bathroom break or having some lunch or whatever it is that you do, it's just going to take a couple of minutes a day when you're doing your hashtag research. And what's going to happen is when you're coming into a photo like this, you can simply come down to here, and the people that give you great comments, like we're going to look at this, like when you messaged me this morning, you know that this person's already in love with what this kind of food is. And if that's something that promotes your business already, is that something that would attract people to your business, I'll just go into her page and flow, just like this, and I would actually go in here, and if I like some of the photos, I comment on a few of the photos. And I would actually go for people smaller than this. 13.7 thousand 7 followers is a fair few. So if we go through another one here, we look at another one, much better. 176 million, like 176 million, and trying to get someone to look at a hashtag. You're still using the hashtag, but you're just digging deeper into it. So you're digging so much deeper into what's possible in your business, right? It just makes complete sense. So it's like I want to see him give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to him, and I hope it does. So the next thing that I want to go into is get out of this phone first and get my face up here. We're going to go on to my next thing. So what I've done there is just show you how to dig deep into hashtags. I know people just don't do it, the clients that I have, they're like, I don't understand how you find these clients. I don't understand how you find these people's products. And it just takes a few minutes a day to just kind of dig into those hashtags and find those few that really work for you, and you can start taking them over with your content, with your personal connection. That's got to do with you know, your connection with the audience. And now I want to go into my next thing here, which was so piggybacking the delete and reposting formula. Now, as you guys know, we have influencers on social media. We have Brian and Rhonda, the Unstoppable Family. Now, they are an influencer on Facebook. That's one of their main hubs, and they're an influencer on that, which means that they influence the world in a positive way, and you know, the social media platform gives them props to do that. So they will get a lot more engagement than other people because they are an influencer on Facebook. So I want to teach you guys a way that Instagram influencers actually post and repost daily. So in a day, like influencers on Instagram do the following method. Now, it may not work for you. It may not be specific to what you want to do, but it does certainly bring up the amount of likes and the amount of engagement that comes onto your page every single day. So in a day, you might have 2 photos that you want to post up. Let's just say you post the first one at 9 a.m. and in that day, that photo might get, let's just say, 100 likes. Just an example, 100 likes in a 24-hour period. And that's great, 100 likes, or however many likes it is as per how many people you have, how good you target your hashtags, and how good you go into it and kind of follow that, that kind of a formula that I just showed you before. But what if you could get 250 likes in that day instead of 100, just from doing one little technique? And I'm going to tell you how to do that, and it's called the reposting, technique. Now, you always want our accounts to look sexy and great and not have multiple of the same posts everywhere. So what the influencers on Instagram do, a lot of them will post a photo at 9 a.m. and then 3 hours later or 4 hours later, they will go ahead and delete that post and put up their second post. So their second one will be up there for the next 3 or 4 hours. And then what happens is they will go and delete that post as well. And then they'll post that first one up again, and then hold on for the next 3 hours and post it again. What happens in that time is that they'll get 50 likes in that first 3 to 4 hours. That's your main engagement time, okay? Your main engagement time. The other 20 hours of the day is a slow engagement time. They're your people who are just going to is that post and delete a few times a day, so then they can, so their usual followers, the ones that are there the 20 hours a day, are always there. But those first few hours, actually get them 4 or 5 times. So yeah, at the end of the day, they're still going to have 100 likes on their photo, but what they've actually done is, you will know as the person posting, you've actually got 250 likes, 250 people looking at, like, actually touching on your Facebook, on your Instagram photo, meaning the likelihood of them following you or clicking on a product that you're trying to sell is much, much higher. So I hope that makes sense. Like, it's something so small and simple that I've only just recently started doing myself, and I've seen a huge spike in engagement. It's actually been really good for my clients and the like. So that's like my reposting formula that I've learned from a couple of the influencers who have a couple of million followers on Instagram. So really cool. I highly recommend doing it, and it can get a little bit frustrating, but when you get it down pat, it takes a couple of minutes a day. Imagine if you could spend 20 to 30 minutes on Instagram per day, and that's it on your business. And that's what I do for personal businesses of mine. I don't have much time in them at all, but I still use all the techniques that I'm telling you. Okay, so let's jump into the next one here. I wanted to touch on some applications that I use for Instagram, because I've actually seen it so often that people are happy to post photos, and that simple little edit, that little add-on or whatever it is so critical to rising that engagement. You'll notice that everything I speak about in this call is about increasing that engagement, because we already know what Instagram does. Instagram allows you to post photos, add a hashtag, and leave it. Their engagement will do it all for you. And the reason I'm telling you all these extra things is because we can 10 times your engagement just overnight just from implementing these techniques. So I'm going to show you a few photos and a few techniques and examples of how you guys can use that straight away and make sure that you use the right apps, or the apps that I use, the ones that I really like. And you guys might have your own apps already, and I'd love to hear about them in the Freedom-Preneur tribe. If you're not in there, make sure you connect with Brian or whoever sent you here, and make sure that you get into the tribe, because what they provide in here is just incredible, and I'm so blessed to be a part of it. And being on the show today it's always a good feeling being on the show with these guys, because they've shown me the world out here. So let me share this, and let me share this screen. I'm going to show you some apps straight away. Start share screen. All right, you guys can see it again. And what I'm going to do here is show you the first app that I use just for simple editing for a photo, and it's called Snapseed. S-N-A-P seed. Snapseed. I'm going to jump into this, and I've got a photo up here. You guys can see this photo. I took this photo last week. I know it's a cool photo, but what I want to show you is how to make it look so much better, and it would increase my engagement straight away. Very, very simple. So what I'm going to do is you open up the photo. It looks just like this. It looks exactly like this. And some people get confused, like, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to show you how easy it is. You click on the little pencil button in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you click on Tune Image. Simple as that. And you click up and down. You slide up and down. You have all these different things. And most people are like, I don't know what they are. Guys, I don't know what they are either. I'm not a professional photographer, but I can certainly help you guys. That's what these apps are for, to make amateur photographers look like much better than they actually are. So we have Brian. Hey, Brian. We can finally hear him. So I think he's gonna mute himself. But I'll keep going.
Hey, can you guys hear me at all?
Can hear you perfectly, Brian.
It only took 25 minutes for me to find it. Hey, Justin, you are rocking it. I just wanted to make sure that I'm able to speak. I had to reinstall the whole Google Voice thing. Long story, but I'm able to jump on. I'm going to let you keep on going, unless if there's something that you wanted me to chime in, but you're rocking.
Cheers, mate. I'm good to go. I'll keep moving on with what I was talking about, but good to finally have you on here. So, as you can see, when you guys are scrolling up and down, just touch your finger on the screen and roll up and down. You have all these different things here. And all I'm going to do is, I'm in brightness now, I'm just going to slide across, give it a bit of brightness. And this photo is already quite good. I probably should have something that's much, but you guys can, a much less quality photo, but you guys can start playing with it and figuring out what looks great. I'm going to show you, just going through a few things here. It takes 2 seconds. I'm going to show you the difference. You may not see it straight away, but what happens is when I take away a few of these, I'm just going to go like this, save that, and then I'm going to go back into the pencil again and go to details. And again, you have that slide structure, the structure and sharpening. Let's move across a little bit. Now you can go, depending on the type of photo, you're going to go minus or plus. This is a very bright photo, so I'm pretty much always going to go plus on everything. All right, let's now, up the top you can click save, but I'll click on the little tube next to that. I've done 2 changes, and I've got my details, tune image, and original. Now have a close look at what I've got here. I've got my new image here, and now I'm going to click on original and look at the darkened nature of it to the lighter nature of that. It's actually a huge difference, particularly when you have photos that are in bad lighting or something like that. You guys saw how quickly it was. I went straight into my Snapseed application. I changed a few settings that I exactly show you what to do. I came out with a photo like this. And now, this is already a great photo, so that it's actually a minimal difference, but it still makes a difference, right? Imagine when you have a photo with bad lighting, or like today I've got shocking skies here. We could actually make the photo look great. And so that's one application that I use. Another very similar app is called Camera Plus. Another very simple one. And I'm not going to I'll let you guys play with that, but you can simply just jump into your photos on here and start editing stuff, just like a Snapseed here. So I'm not going to go into it. They're pretty much identical apps. But there's two different apps that you can use. Okay, so the next one, my favorite one, and one that is literally came to store like yesterday. I know that the Swans use it, Canva.com. We all love Canva. And they just released the Canva app. This is my first time logging into it. I literally downloaded it this morning. I'm going to play with it live for you guys here. I'm going to log in here, hopefully via Facebook. I've logged into everything via Facebook pretty much. Hopefully it lets me do it so I can show you guys how I do this. So, alright, cool. So this is my first time logging into it. So you're seeing this live for the first time. I'm just going to try and click on one of these are all the existing ones inside of Canva. I want to see how adaptable the Canva.com, because we know how good the website is. We all love the website. It's beautifully done. So now I want to see if the app is as good as they say. So I'm just going to click on one and see if they have it all like editable. I'm guessing they will. They do. So I would love, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a training on Canva outside of this and just pop it into the Freedom-Preneur Tribe. The Canva app on the phone, instead of going through it now, because I want to learn myself and you guys better training. But I'm super stoked to have it here. So,
you know, just I a few times, Rhonda is a big fan of Canva. She is using, every time you see anything that Rhonda's posting on Facebook, Instagram, or anything, she's using Canva. So she loves it. So.
Yeah, dude. Let me do a training on the phone app, because we all know people don't like to go off their phone onto the computer. You know how they are, Brian. Like a lot of people would just like to do it on their phone, not get onto the computer and do it. Well, for Instagram particularly. And so if we can get like another app on the phone like Canva, it's a greatest thing out there. I love it. So let me do like a quick 10-minute training on it. I'll record that sometime today. Pop it into the tribe so you can all see it. And start using it on your phone. Make sure you do it right, because I see a lot of people use Canva and they're just not sure how to do a few things.
Yeah, Justin, let me ask you one thing. You said how many people like to actually go from their phone back to their computer? Is that what you said? And you want to do everything on your phone, right? I was just listening. Check this out. This is a little side note, but this is a very cool thing, and I want to share this because it just came up. Actually, 2 weeks ago when we lost both of our laptops. They were stolen, right? What happened is that it forced Rhonda, because both of them were Rhonda's, it was forced her to actually do every single thing from her iPhone. Now, we're so conditioned on getting onto the computer, and we have to do it, just that's how we're conditioned. And Rhonda, I saw from the week that she didn't, I still had my computer, so I'm all happy and I'm comfortable, I'm doing my own thing. But she, okay, well, how am I going to work in Bali, Indonesia, when there's no Apple store and you can't get anything good? She's like, I'm going to have to work on my computer solely. And one of the things that happened out of that week, she became probably 3 to 4 times more productive than using her computer, because we have a lot of resources, outsourcing people, virtual assistants on doing it, and we actually had to rely on people to, okay, now I have to do a voice to text. Now, this is not about Instagram, but this is my point. On being able to do everything from your phone. Rhonda's like, we always believe that everything happens for a reason. And I went, wow, you are more productive now without your computer, with your phone. And so when I said this yesterday, I was listening. I love podcasts, and I was listening to a keynote speech, and I think it was just recent, from Gary Vee. And he had only a 20-minute speech, and in the middle, he goes, because his whole point was, okay, I like to be on the beginning of trends, and I like to do them before anybody else is doing them. He goes, how many people here are still using computers? And everybody raises their hand. He goes, great. How many people are doing everything by your phone? He goes, wow, only 10 out of 1,000 some people? He goes, I'm doing every single thing from my phone. And mark my word, all of you guys right out there, Within 2 years, only half of you guys will be working on your computer anymore. That's just one of my things. I like to listen to Gary Vee and stuff, and I went, Rhonda, you're on a trend. Keep going with it. She goes, okay, I'm not using the computer anymore. Anyway, I just had to add that little side note to you. So it's a
No,
big
it's
deal. Every single thing from your phone.
so Brian will know firsthand because like I just moved next door to Brian like 2 days ago, but I'm actually back in Australia now for 2 weeks. But I'll be back in 2 weeks.
And I'm in
Anyway,
the
so
part of Bali. Keep
where are
going.
you? Yeah. So
I'm in
yeah. Anyway,
Bali.
so
Watch it.
you're in Uluwatu still? Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I come back home.
So yeah, perfect. So just back on what Brian said. So ever since I started using Instagram, I've become accustomed to using my phone about 80% of the time. So I was already, even though like I've always been using my phone, only my phone pretty much for like the last 12 months or so, I don't use my computer that much. I will actually like flip down on the computer, go and sit down on a lounge or a hammock and just like work on my phone for a couple of hours, just because I know I can do everything from there. There's a few little things that still aren't able to be done on the phone that is a computer, but they're getting so close. And that Canva app is one huge example. One of the best photo editing like websites online for free has just gone onto the phone, and that's a huge step for Instagrammers particularly. So in regards to Instagram, that's what I was going to talk about today, Brian. So if you want to start questioning me about anything, go for it. But I just wanted to touch on those few little things and how to build engagement like straight away without even thinking. Just go ahead and do those techniques that I said, and like, it just goes tenfold overnight. I can promise you.
Yeah, and you know what? I gotta come out and just tell you guys, I've learned so much from Instagram, and I'm still applying those. And today, what I've heard, I even got a couple more nuggets. There's some things that you just know that aren't going away, and one of them is Facebook, and the other one is Instagram, and Instagram's owned by Facebook, so you just know it's not going in. And let me ask you this, because you've done a lot of affiliate marketing. Okay, here's a good question for you. How long ago did you get into the online world, Justin? And before you ask that, I'm sorry, guys, that I wasn't able to get my audio going. But I want to just let you know that when you're hearing from Justin, it's only been, I think, less than 2 years. He's going to tell you exactly how many years that he's been in this online world. But this guy has had basically 5-figure months consistently. I'm not sure if you've hit the 6-figure mark, but you're making you've been able to retire yourself, because he was. Actually, share a little bit of a story, because I think this is intriguing. Because the way that I would have introduced you at the beginning, I would have given you backdrop on how we've met and been at the events together. He's now living next door to me. That's a whole different crazy story upon itself. But I think it would be really beneficial on people hearing, because you've given Instagram tips. It's great. People are like, okay, I can start using this. But give us a little history about when you got in the online world, what you were doing, and now you're traveling around the world. You're making 5 consistent, big number, 5-figure months. I think you just had like about a $30,000 or $40,000 month just this last month. But share, because this has been just a short amount of time, and I think inspires some people that are, you know what, I'm just getting started here. I can't learn all this stuff. But say how you just like you. I know you're not a jack of all trades. You focus solely on, like, for instance, Instagram, and I know you've done some stuff with Facebook. Tap into that. So I've asked you a whole bunch of questions. Let's start a little bit from the beginning, in the middle of this conversation.
All right. Thanks for bringing that back. I was hoping you're on so we could speak about this to start off with, but it's okay. We rolled it, and that's a great thing about working online. It doesn't really matter. We're going to get to it eventually. You're about to go back to surfing, so we can do what we want on this online world, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why I got into this. So my story. So I started online. July 21. I think I just hit 18 months online. 18 months.
Nice.
in that 18 months, I've produced multiple six figures online. Brian probably didn't even know that, but yeah, multiple six figures online. And I'm producing, as I said, I had like a $42,000 a month in the past 30 days. So things are going quite well for me. But how I started, so I'll keep going here. How I started, right? So I connected I actually was listening to a Wednesday call, the usual Wednesday calls that the Swans have always done, and I connected with one of their little spawns, Nathan Buchan, back in the day, and at that time he was traveling through Vegas with them at an affiliate event in Vegas. That would have been late January 2015, and you guys are doing a call, I think, from Vegas or something like that. Anyway, or something like that, and you guys could make it, so someone else did it, and it was all a bit of a gamble. So I ended up just connecting with you guys straight away, and within a few months of just like throwing myself into like the digital nomad world, still had a business back home. So I want to tell you how I went from having a business back home in Sydney, a brick and mortar business, to getting online. So what happened is, so I started connecting with these guys each week, plugging into their trainings and making sure that like, I knew how I wanted to build my business from the ground zero up. I had never worked online before, so I had no idea what I was doing. But I also had my business in Sydney, and I was like, how am I going to move from here to here? It was a big jump going from owning my brick and mortar business. It was paying the bills, but it wasn't allowing me to become that digital nomad that I always wanted to be. And so what I did, I worked a couple of hours a day extra. At the end of the day, I was already working long hours, 10-hour days. I had my own business teaching soccer to kids. I had 600 kids attending weekly. I was in the office all day and teaching these kids throughout the day.
I want to chime in. So what he's talking about, for if you are a small business owner, I want you to really focus on what this guy is going to say right now. And I wanted to preface that versus just telling a story, because people pay attention to this, because this is actually pretty amazing on what he did. So keep going. Sorry for interrupting, but I had to like really make it a point to tune in for especially like small business owners.
Yeah, I haven't actually I haven't like told my exact story for such a long time now, so I'm glad you came and pointed that out, because I may have forgotten to touch on it, but it's obviously the main thing, so I should be touching on it. But so I started working online for a few months and just learning all the techniques coming from the group that you guys are in now, and it was I actually started with Facebook. And what I first did was start implementing some Facebook ads to my soccer business back home in Sydney, and I just started seeing like these little increments in results for like the first month, and I'm like, what's happening here? Like, this is like working, and it was very simple to plug these ads in, right, to like my local audience. Like, I had like an audience of a couple 100,000 in my area. I just started placing ads directly targeting these these stay-at-home mums who had 2-year-old kids. They're at home, and after about a month, I also started seeing some results on my kind of my new online business, my venture that I was going on, right? So I saw my brick and mortar business growing, and I saw this growing, and I'm like, oh, I'm already working all these hours. I can't get them both growing and keep them both at the same time. Nor did I want to. I wanted to be on the road. I wanted to be traveling. So what I decided to do is really push the advertising for my soccer business back home, and keep pushing the business for my online business here. Keep pushing the Facebook for my online business. And what I did with this business is I actually put up for sale. I hadn't made money online before, but I put it up for sale. I had that drive to make it happen. And but before I started pushing it with the Facebook ads, I actually got a valuation on my business. And I won't go into the specific numbers, but it was valued for X amount, okay? And within 3 months or 4 months, I was able to push that to about between 4 and 5 times that initial valued income, and I sold it for 4 or 5 times that valued income just from smashing these Facebook ads for like 3 months. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, that is, you know what, and that's it. That is the amazing thing on until you came into the online world that you were a brick and mortar business, a soccer program, right? People don't really realize it's just starting to become present where people are understanding like, okay, I need to get in this online world. Now, and it can be in any business possible. And it's something that happened, 2, 3 years ago, small businesses wouldn't even think of that. The fact that you actually like, hey, maybe I can apply this for a soccer business is like you're legendary on that and was able to quadruple the amount that you're offering for. In how many months again was that?
18 months ago.
Yeah. But how long ago were you able to quadruple the price, like
Ah,
for the sale of it, from when you started placing the
yep.
ads on Facebook?
So it went. So I got the valuation in January 2015,
Right.
and I put it up for sale in I think it was like late March, early April.
Right.
It was around the time, yeah, around that time. So it was like 3.5 months, I'd say. And I obviously kept pushing it a bit more as I went through. Uh, People coming to me wanting to buy the business when I had the buyers there. I kept pushing it up so I could put the price up, of course. So I kept pushing it for another couple of months, and then I think by about June, July, I was finalising the agreement, and so yeah, within 6 months of me starting Facebook ads to finally selling it, I was able to times the initial valuation by between 4 and 5 times.
That's amazing. That really is, man. And then that was Facebook, and now you've been conquering it in the online world on Instagram. And it's, would you say, and this is just an easy question, but you really focused, you just did one thing, you weren't like scattered around, you were basically, you locked and loaded and just focused solely on that. Is that right?
Yeah, so for the first few months, when I started online, it's learning the different. I actually, my first week online, I think I went through every technique under the sun. But
Right.
then what I did, I got the one that I liked. I got the one that I thought would work for my business, and I actually did it because I knew it could work for both my soccer business and my new venture online. I knew it could work for both, so I'm like, why not focus on that technique that helped me both ways? So I did
Right.
that. I focused on one for like 5 months, and then I was like, okay, I've kind of mastered that. I want to add another cog to my business. So I actually, and I know there's actually a lot of people out there that say master one and then start doing another and keep doing. I actually pretty much stopped doing Facebook ads and just started doing Instagram. And the only reason is because I had this instant success with it and I wanted to master it again on its own. So I did that, and now I actually combine both. Now after I mastered two, like say 6 months at a time, mastered two techniques. Now I have a business based on Instagram and Facebook, and so now it's kind of like a whole round business. But I really made myself focus on one technique, and I just see too many people just go from technique to technique to technique, as Brian would know, and
Yeah.
and people just cannot get off the ground.
Yeah. I got it. Cool, dude. Well, I tell you, it's coming at the top of the hour. If anybody's got some questions, go ahead and ask them below. And Justin, let me ask you: are you open? We just finished up a Facebook 4-week training with Bernie Martin just this week. Are you open to do a Instagram 4-week training? I think Rhonda already asked.
Absolutely, let's do
Oh, okay, cool.
it.
Did Rhonda
Yep.
forget to ask you? And you're like, oh. So, all right, so guys, stay tuned for that.
Sure.
The details that we're going to do it, when it's going to start, we will let you know probably by next week. And so stay tuned if you want to learn from Justin, who's just been crushing it on Instagram and really taking about the foundation of what he just shared with you in the first half hour, and then taking it through the next steps and guiding you along the way, with also being able to ask questions inside a Facebook group, getting the recordings of the training. We'll be offering that within the Freedom-Preneur group and the Freedom-Preneur Academy, so we're looking forward to having you there. Let me make another announcement, and then I'm going to have you wrap it up and see if there's any questions as well. Todd, if you can just check to make sure there's questions. I believe Rhonda said that we have 3 spots available. This is just for the women only. So for the media in the city, I'll post a link on that. Rhonda is going to be going back to New York City. She's going to be with Bonnie Bruder, she's the founder and of Bon Bon Networks and the Ask Bon Bon Show. So if you want to be on TV in the media, there's going to be 12 women. There's 3 spots available. I think they had to open up a whole different another group, but Rhonda told me today that there's 3 spots. If you have any specific questions, because it's really coming crush time, you can message Rhonda directly. I'll put the link so you can get all the information on that, and you can also watch a replay of the last one. So this is just for the ladies, and it's going to be August 13th through the 17th. We also have our Freedom-Preneur funnels up and going. If you are not an affiliate with our Share the Love program in the Academy, make sure you get access to that. And other than that, Justin, let me see if there's, I'm going to look to see if there's any questions. Is there anything that you want to add while I'm looking for the questions here?
No, I just want to quickly go back to that consistency about focusing on that one technique. In the past 12 months, I've been able to generate my clients millions and millions of followers. And the only reason that happened is because they stuck at it. A lot of people get stuck after a month, just stop doing it. So if you guys really want to focus on something, please make sure that you do stick at it for like a lengthy amount of time, because it will pay off. Just make sure you plug into the right mentors, and hopefully you guys want to come on to the 4-week intensive training, so I can give you guys more tips, not a few more tips. I'll dig and dive into not only doing what I did, but I actually want to help you guys automate the process. So I hope you guys want to do that.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, I'm not seeing any questions unless I'm not updating it correctly here. But man, you've hit the nail on the head. Thank you for coming out, Justin. When am I going to see you back in Bali?
I'll be back first week of August.
And I will be back the first week of August as well. So, man, I will see you at Bali first of the month. Thank you for coming out. Thank you all for sharing the call with us, and stay on the lookout for the training that we're going to be announcing here probably next week with Instagram and Justin. All right, over and out. Be unstoppable. Cheers, mate.